Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Ralph Michaels and Dave Koken of WagerTalk.com. We're talking national championship college football style. Guys, we got the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Alabama Crimson Tide going down Monday, January 11th, Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida. We got the Ohio State Buckeyes catching 7.5 here, Ralph. Alabama, 7 in the hook favorites, 75 being the total in South Florida Monday night. What are you thinking here? Buckeyes versus Crimson Tide.
Well, let's address the high total. Number one, I think it's warranted. We probably have two of the premier offenses in the history of college football. I mean, we are talking that good with that many playmakers. So I still lean with the over, and I like the over in the first half a little bit more. If Justin Fields gets banged up, it's likely going to be in the second half, and the scoring may go down. So, that would be my top play that I'm taking out of this. As far as the side is concerned, if I knew Justin Fields was healthy, I think I would be leaning the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes do have the rush attack like Notre Dame did to keep the Alabama offense off the field, but the Ohio State offense is also going to score much quicker than the Alabama defense. The Justin Fields thing is my biggest concern, but then you also look at Alabama, and everyone's talking about Devontae Smith, and is he going to win the Heisman, which is tonight, by the way. But let's remember this. Jalen Waddle got hurt game 3. Jalen Waddle was probably the best player in college football. He was their number one receiver, their number one punt returner. He was the most dynamic player there is. So he started to run with the team. He's going to start practicing this week. Boy, you add him to the mix, and I just don't see that the Ohio State cornerbacks are going to be able to slow him down. Yes, the D-line has gotten pressure the last few games. Yes, the defense has held 5 of their 7 opponents this year to a season low. If they hold Alabama to a season low, that would mean under 414 yards. Then yes, I like him in this game. But with that Fields injury, with Alabama becoming better than they have been all season with the addition on offense, it's a play I'm going to stay away with. And again, a definite lean to the over, more of a lean to the over in the first half.
All right, good stuff, Ralph. And you bring up the total, the highest total BCS or playoff college football championship game. Also, Alabama favored in 79 consecutive games, also 151 of the last 152 games here, Dave. But throw it over to you. We got Alabama minus 7.5 versus Ohio State Monday night. What are your thoughts?
Well, first, let's talk about the betting strategy. I think if you are looking to bet Ohio State, you have to wait. The idea of taking them now just doesn't make any sense. The reasons for that are, first of all, the public is going to bet Alabama in the game. There are going to be more tickets on Alabama. There's no question about that. But more importantly, as we're doing this show, we have COVID issues occurring with Ohio State. There already has been some talk about pushing the game back a week. Obviously, I have no information as to whether that's going to happen, whether it's just idle chatter, or whether there's something to it. But clearly there's some issues at Ohio State, and we don't know right now what players or staffers are involved in this. So it's very tough to make a concrete decision there. But the one thing you can glean from that, and at least assume, and assuming is a little dangerous in our business, but we'll try it here anyway. I think you can assume that with that information, the line is likely to go up. So if you're an Alabama buyer, probably makes sense to get in now. I don't think you're going to get a better number. If you're on Ohio State or looking to play the Buckeyes, probably best to wait. As for the matchup itself, look, I talk about this all the time. I'm an old school guy in terms of my philosophy. It has never changed as far as college football is concerned. I like teams, particularly underdogs, that do really well in the trenches. And one of the identifying factors there is teams that are outrushing their opponent by a margin of 2-1 or better per game. Ohio State fits that category. It's strong stuff. It worked very well in the Ohio State-Clemson game. Ohio State coming in with that ratio, and that was where this game was decided. Make no mistake, the Ohio State-Clemson game was decided in the trenches. Ohio State was better on the offensive line and better on the defensive line. I don't think they're better than Alabama in those two categories, but I think they are clearly the best team Alabama's faced as far as that goes. So my initial lean, and I am not betting this as of now, my initial lean is Ohio State plus the points. I've got Alabama winning the game, but I don't have them winning it big. And if this line is going to be above a touchdown, I'll probably be siding, at least for a small bet, on Ohio State plus the points.
All right, good stuff from Dave Koken and Ralph Michaels. Ralph, actually, do you want to finish up here?
I do. I have one more point to bring up that we don't talk about a lot. And I'm going to go back to my Phil Steele days where we came up with a special teams ranking by looking at every category: kick returns offense, kick return defense, punt return offense, punt return defense. And I'm going to quote Phil's numbers for this because I helped devise this system. It is an awesome system. Alabama is the number 7 special teams in the country. Ohio State is number 124.
Wow. Okay. And can you break down the system just real quick? Like, why would they be so low?
Well, because of the kick return offense, the kick return defense, the punt return offense, the punt return defense, the punter, the net punt on offense, your net punt return on defense, the touchdowns that you're plus or minus on kick returns, and the field goal kicker as well. Remember, Bama's kicker hasn't missed. Ohio State's kicker, I think, is 6 of 10 on the year. So all of those factors get put in, get rated, and get ranked, and then there's a number. So, it's a number I stand by. And again, that's from Phil Steele, those special team rankings, but they're numbers that I know are very close to being very, very accurate. And I think they're some of the best in the country.
Okay. And just real quick here, Ralph, do you think there's anything to Steve Sarkisian taking the Texas job?
No.
Do you think that messes anything up with Alabama offensively?
You know what? He is 100% committed for this week. And, and I think the players that are going to play for him are going to appreciate that. You know what? You're invested in this team right now. You're the coach. Come Tuesday morning, he leaves, and then he starts becoming the Longhorns head coach. And, it just gives him more swagger being the OC of a national championship team if they do indeed win it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll jump in. It might matter at some schools. It doesn't matter at a football factory. This stuff happens all the time. Saban's assistants go on to other jobs all the time. So it's basically like an NFL franchise from that standpoint. It'll have absolutely no impact.
All right, good stuff, Dave and Ralph. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Check out both Ralph Michaels and Dave Koken at WagerTalk.com, and you can take advantage of a special discount, college basketball, NBA, 30-day all access. Huge discount there. Good for Ralph, Dave, any handicapper at both websites, Sports Memo, WagerTalk.com.